Today on the channel, we got some new ground being broken here on the channel as we got wave 1 of the Heroes and Horrors line with Tarman ×2 and Tom Savini ×2.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Everyone, Kyle here, back again for another retro unboxing and review. And usually I would say a retro wrestling unboxing, but this time in a plot twist, we've got Heroes and Horrors. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another retro unboxing and review. Now, normally I would say a retro wrestling unboxing and review, but not this time, as we got the brand new Heroes and Horrors line from Grapplers and Gimmicks, and now Grapplers and Gimmicks, Regime, we know them more from wrestling, but they have branched out like a lot of other toy lines into the horror elements. And if you guys know me, there's one thing I love. I love my wrestling, I love my G.I. Joe, I love my McFarlane, and I love horror movies, especially horror movies of the 80s, 70s, and even, the Universal Monster stuff as well. But some of the exploitation movies of the 70s and 80s are some of my absolute all-time favorites. I'm a guy that's never seen Back to the Future. I'm a guy that's never seen all the Indiana Jones movies. I'm a guy that's never seen a Tom Cruise movie. But you think I've seen Return of the Living Dead like 25 times? Of course I have. And that's what it takes to be me, Todd McFarlane. And what it takes to do an unboxing like this, it takes a lot, let me tell you. But we're going to do it like we do all the other ones on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. We got 4 figures here, but it basically double up club kind of thing here. We got Tom Savini, an all-time legend. We'll talk about him in a second. We got a standard Tom Savini, and we got a repaint as From Dusk Till Dawn, of course, Quentin Tarantino movie, Once Upon a Time. A little sex machine action. We got that going on here. And then we got the one I'm a little bit more excited about. Once again, Return of the Living Dead. We got Tarman and Return of the Living Dead Part 2 Tarman over here. An iconic character. Not a ton of screen time. I mean, a couple of minutes or so. But one of the big things people do remember from Return of the Living Dead. We'll get into all of it right here from Grapplers and Gimmicks and, of course, Hastel Toys. Head over to grapplersandgimmicks.com to pick these figures up. And I believe there's even glow-in-the-dark editions. Oh, my gosh, playing all the hits for me as well. But let's dive into it. Should we go? We'll go human over zombie Tarman first. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do Tom Savini, and we'll go regular Tom Savini, and then we'll go on to full-on bloody vampire edition of Tom Savini. Now, this one is a little bit more generic. This is Tom Savini at a horror convention. And if you don't know Tom Savini, you should look him up. But most people in the horror world know all about Tom Savini as an actor in a lot of movies, of course, as Dusk Till Dawn is one of them, but also for his special effects magic he used over the years. And I remember reading an interview one time with him. He was a photographer in Vietnam. Never beautiful, especially with Mattel these days. But Vietnam was a wild time. For those that know, I heard a lot of stories from my father-in-law once upon a time about his ways over there in Vietnam. And he didn't pull any punches on some of the stuff he saw and had to do over there. So wild times, as we do know. But Tom Savini was over there as a photographer, and he had to take pictures of like crashes and helicopter crashes and dead bodies. So he had to film a bunch of that kind of stuff, and it helped him lay the course for some of his special effects magic over the years. And now we're getting him here. This would be great to get autographed at a convention if that is your thing. But Tom Savini, an all-timer. Like I said, look up his movie filmography, I guess you could say. He is the forefather of the Greg Nicoteros of the world who are going strong with The Walking Dead and all points in between. Just a absolute legend that maybe not everybody knows about, but they should. They should. And I do like the retro style packaging on these. Hallmark of the past, hallmark to the wrestling line, but with a twist and different name as well. I like the Heroes and Horrors here. You got Hastel Toy. It's about branding. You got to bring it back to Who Brought You to the Dance. Tom Savini autograph on the front here, ages 18 and up. Movie superstars officially licensed, it says right there on the front. And then on the back, we got a lot of jibber jabber going on. So let's dive into this, see what's going on. Now, this is probably generic across all of them. From the cult favorite team that brought wrestling fans Grapplers and Gimmicks comes the next evolution in collectible mayhem, Heroes and Horrors movie superstars. This all-new line celebrates the legends of fright, fight, and film, capturing cinema's wildest icons in the bold, over-the-top style of classic 80s and 90s action figures. Each figure is packed with attitude, nostalgia, and the kind of detail that makes fans remember why they fell in love with movies and toys in the first place, for the fans, by the fans, forever. So I'm here for that. Once again, barking up the right tree here for me, and maybe you if you're watching this as well. You're either watching this because you love this kind of stuff, or you just enjoy Kyle's witty banter with Todd McFarlane from the couch. I guess choose your own adventure. Leave it in the comments. But man, there are so many classic movies from the 80s I would love seeing action figure lines of, or just figures from some main characters. Can we get the Maniac Cops, which I think Trick or Treat Studios is doing, if I'm not mistaken? How about Fulci movies? I've been on a Fulci movie kick. I've always loved the Fulci, but I'm going through all of his movies. Yes, the Westerns. Yes, the comedies. I'm working my way through it. But can we get a figure of Fulci Zombie? Could we get Beyond figures? Could we get Bob from Cemetery? I don't know if we can get that one, but you know Bob. Everybody knows Bob. But there's a lot of cool stuff I would love to see. I don't know how deep this line's going to go, and I guess we don't know if it's going to go past Series 1, but we'll wait and see what happens here. But it does say, Tom Savini, the maestro of mayhem, armed with attitude, leather, and wicked grin. Kind of like me without the leather, maybe. This version of Tom Savini captures his legendary outlaw appearance that fans still whisper about decades later. Equal parts gunslinger and showman, he embodied the midnight movie spirit that blurred the line between hero and horror. A trailblazer in special effects and makeup, Savini built his empire from latex and fake blood, redefining what movie monsters could be, whether behind the camera or stepping into the chaos himself. He remains the ultimate icon of practical horror, and give me practical horror all day long. I'm getting on my soapbox here, Mr. McFarlane. Give it all day long, because I'm here for the practical effects. I don't like the CGI. The CGI is too much, and it looks so dated. I remember seeing stuff like in 2000, like, wow, look at the CGI. Now you see it now. It's just so dated. So practical all day long. So that's my opinion there. So that's good. I'm going to pull this off the card, though. I hate to do it, but somebody's got to do it. We're doing it for science here. What's the best way to go? I kind of like to bend the card a little bit, give it a little pop and crack, see if it loosens the glue just a hair. Doesn't seem to be happening, though. These are very tight on. And maybe you could use this guy as a wrestling figure manager, too. If you're wanting to collect all the figures and put it with your wrestling figures, you could easily do that. Tom Savini would be a heck of a manager, let me tell you. He'd get things done. He wouldn't be afraid of a blade. Well, maybe. I don't think he likes razors, if I'm not mistaken. But we got it right here, Tom Savini out of the package. Let's dive into it. So we do got is it called a cod piece or a cock piece? Cock piece or cod piece? Cod piece? We're going cod piece. So he's got his gun here, of course, from the movie. Very famous scene as well, as we know. And this pops right out like so, and you could put just a regular piece in here. That's what I'm going to do for this one, I think. And I am guessing we can go both ways over there. And I don't know. We don't normally go both ways, but I think we can do that in this instance here. Trying to get this back on might be harder than I want it to be. No pun there, of course, but you pop this on so you can have it straight up regular, because I want this to be just Tom Savini hanging out at a horror convention. That's what I want, so I don't need the sex machine part with him. He also comes with a whip. I believe that was his weapon of choice, or one of them in the movie, if I'm not mistaken. So you do got the whip here in plastic, plus the extra piece there. But I'm going to just go with this one, which is just a straight up. That's the plan here. Now, looking good here, Tom Savini. This is a great mold. This would be great for customizers, too, if you could get customized heads on this one. But it looks just like Tom Savini. This could be some of the best work I've seen from Grapplers and Gimmicks. They've made a lot of great wrestling head sculpts, but man, I see this. Somebody hands me this head. I know this is Tom Savini all day. So kudos to the sculpt on this one. Looks really, really good. Got that jet black goatee. Got the longer hair there. Got that very stoic face. Tom Savini's not a guy that smiles a lot. He's not a guy that likes to be really chatty Cathy. Him and I are on different spectrums on that one a little bit. He does got the leather throughout here. The leather jacket ready to go. Black leather pants and then black boots. Looking very cool right here, though. Very cool. No holes in the feet. Hastel Toy 2025. Made in China. For those keeping track. Unfortunately, can't put him on a stand, but he stands just fine on his own. Now moving over to the second one here. Tom Savini Vampire Edition. When he does get converted to the vampire. We do got some of that. I guess, is it AI artwork up there? I don't know if that's a still from the movie. I don't think so. It looks almost like a comic book version of that. Heroes and Horrors, once again. Everything is going to be the same on the back by the looks of the thing. Obviously a different image there, but everything else seems to be the same. Yep, same thing. So it makes sense. Get the most out of your mold, get the most out of your packaging. This one, though, comes with less accessories. You don't get all these pieces, but in a plot twist, you should be able to mix and match if you need to. Can I get it out of the package? We're going to try. We're going to try. I'm going to try to just get up there just a little bit. There we go. All right, just a little bit. Just a little bit. A little cheat right there. Man, these are on there tight, though. That's some super glue, I guess is what that is. Wild glue. There we go. Mr. Savini Vampire Edition coming out. Hot. See you later. Goodbye. Tom Savini. Same figure again here. You get different hands, different head. That is the difference between these two. You do get some blood splatter throughout. So basically a variant with a little extra. Love that we got the extra hands. Love the new head on this one. Vampire head. Got the blood there. You got the ears akin to an elf once again. Black hair going on. Once again, looks like Tom Savini. Looks like this from the movie. The cod piece does come out here. So that is nice. So you can mix and match. Choose them back and forth. Choose your own adventure. Love the hands here. Of course, the long vampire nails, I guess we'll call them. We got those going on, caked up there in blood. Articulation on this guy, head back and forth, arms all the way around, waist articulation. Basically just a repaint of this one with a little extra twist. So not a bad piece of business there. Really, what do you prefer between the two? How do you want your Tom Savini? Choose your own adventure there. But both really good figures. I like these. The quality is up to snuff. I enjoy the Grapplers and Gimmicks wrestling stuff, so I knew I'd like these. But a fabulous head sculpt. This could very well be the best Grapplers and Gimmicks head sculpt ever on the regular Tom Savini. That's what I'm saying. But let's go to Return of the Living Dead and then Return of the Living Dead 2. Somebody get me some more brains. I even got the hat on here to celebrate the appearance. Heroes and Horrors, Return of the Living Dead. Tarman, like I said, a classic villain from a classic movie, one of the greatest movies of all time. If you've never seen this movie, you owe it to yourself to watch it. It's got horror, it's got comedy, it's got nudity, it's got everything I want in a movie. It's got everything. Looking very good right here. Movie Superstars Edition. On the back looking good. We got the same tail of the tape, I'm assuming, between both of them. Up top, it is the generic copyright for the line, so we got that going on. But it does say Tarman, the ooze that wouldn't die, straight from the cult classic Return of the Living Dead, the most oozy, goopy ghoul to ever stagger across the screen, Tarman, bursting out of his barrel and hungry for brains. We'll never forget that if you've seen it. This undead icon defined 1980s horror with a mix of slime style and shocking personality. With his melting grin and unstoppable appetite, Tarman isn't just another zombie. He's the life and death of the party. Fans of punk rock, horror, and midnight movies know that when Tarman shows up, the graveyard gets loud, and it sure does. Does anybody want to party? I know I do. But Return of the Living Dead looking very good here. Ages 18 and up once again. Let's get this Tarman off the package. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Trick or Treat is also making a Tarman figure. I could be wrong on that, or I could be right. You never know. You never know. And I can't get this off clean. What are we doing? Oh, brutal. Rookie maneuver. Rookie maneuver. See you later. Goodbye. We're getting there, though. We're getting there. Looking good. See you later. Goodbye. And this isn't the first retro figure line to branch out into horror. We know Zombie Sailor Toys, Heels and Faces, doing Silent Hill figures, Army of Darkness figures as well. So this isn't unprecedented. So I'm here for this one, though. I got to say, though, I like Army of Darkness. I'm a big Army of Darkness. I love Ash. I love Evil Dead, all that kind of stuff. But gun to my head, which hopefully doesn't happen, Todd McFarlane, I'm going Return of the Living Dead. It is one of my absolute favorite movies of all time. So very excited to have Tarman. And Tarman might be at my desk at work is probably where he's going to be on display here. Absolutely love the head on this one. He's got those human eyes, which gives him a little extra creepy factor. He got that tongue off to the side. Really looks like a decaying zombie, a skeleton full of tar. He was locked away in a gallon drum. He is the Tar Man. Absolutely wild. And then, of course, he screams for brains in the movie. That's what he wants. And apparently got some as he has it connected to his hand. It is not removable there, but a nice brain. You're not missing that for anything. You got the tar hanging down on the arms. You got the splayed out hand here as he's reaching for somebody. And then you got a tar loincloth here. Looks like he stepped out of Eternia. You look close, you can see the bones throughout on this one. He's got the crooked leg down here. Just screams Tarman all day long in a retro scale. Once again, a fabulous looking figure. Love the head sculpt on this one here as well. 2025, made in China. No peg hole, but he does stand just fine on his own. And that is the Tarman from Return of the Living Dead. But how about Return of the Living Dead Part 2, which I got to be honest, I think I've only seen this movie once, and it was back when I was in high school. I liked the first one so much, and I remember this one being disappointed, but I owe this a revisit. I definitely do. But Tarman, his story rides on. Of course, you get an iconic character like that, you got to keep his story going. You got another one of those images up there on the top looking extra creepy. Looking very nice, though. I like the packaging a lot on this. The black really adds to the horror aspect, as does the green. You get the copyright back there. Probably going to be the same thing. Yep, same thing. Straight from the cult classic Return of the Living Dead Part 2. So they just added a little Part 2 in here, but it does fit. It works the same way there. Hastel Toy and Collectibles. Once again, let's get them off the card. Let's get the Tarman brothers ready to go. Once again, hard to get off the card here. Just tough. I guess most people probably aren't taking these off the card. I don't know. You'd have to tell me in the comments if you're taking these out of the card or not. I am, though, for sure. As you can see, somebody's got to review them. You can't just review the packaging, can you? See you later, goodbye. Plastic prison, out of here. See you later, goodbye. And a gentle see you later, goodbye. Tarman Part 2 going on. A different look this time. He's got some more teeth. He looks like one of those chatterbox toys like got put into his mouth there. Looking extra wild. A different color to his face, well, a little bit of white mixed in there. But it is the Tarman once again. You got two open hands going on, so he's reaching for you. He wants to get some brains along the way. You got the loincloth made of tar. You got the skeleton showing through once again. Kind of a grayish, blackish tar color here. Looks like we got a lot of reuse, as you can imagine. I'm not going to go crazy, so you get a lot of the same stuff. The head is the big difference. For me, the first one's the most iconic by far, but the second one's good too. I don't mind the head on this one, but the first one's hard to beat. That's what brought you to the dance originally, and that's what I think of with him. This one's got the brain. This one does not. That is another big difference. Looks to be the exact same articulation between both of them. Heads back and forth. Arms all the way around, waist articulation, nothing as far as legs do go. So we got a little action right here for the old Tarman, and then we got a double dose of Tom Savini. Man, oh man, pretty good heavy hitters for Series 1. A lot of options for this line. Obviously, some properties going to cost more than other properties. I get that. It's not easy to get some of this stuff officially licensed, so you got to pay up, and you got to do the math. Is the juice worth the squeeze? I got to think Return of the Living Dead isn't going to break the bank like Dawn of the Dead would. Let's bring that into an example. But there's a lot of great classic 80s movies I would love to see. We'll see what happens in the future with this line. We'll see what's next for this line. But I got to say, as far as being a horror fan, I really enjoy what I see right here. The regular edition Tom Savini and the regular first edition of Tarman are easily my two favorite. But got to get the most out of your molds, got to get a little bit more money. I understand buying both of these two as well. So quite the murder's row here for Series 1. Bring on Series 2. Who would you like to see in Series 2? Put it in the comments down below. And you made it this far, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day, and then some. We got even more content for you over on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. Your best way to support the channel. You guys know that by now. Check it out. Get early access to the videos. Get glamour shot pictures. Get all kinds of stuff. Appreciate the support over there. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and The Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com, which is also the name of my podcast, Kyle Peterson Show, every single Tuesday wherever podcasts are found, with video cast on YouTube. So for a little bit of Tarman and Tom Savini, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we going to dance or are we going to play?